Thank you for your attention. This is the Getting Divorced Without Losing Your Mind podcast with Corey Shapiro. The quote this week is about divorce from someone who knows it himself, great singer from Coldplay, Chris Martin. He says you can come at it very aggressively and blame, or you can put yourself in the garage, so to speak, take yourself apart, clean off the pits, reassemble. I understand he had a conscious uncoupling, but even so, divorce is difficult. It's a major transition. Sometimes you need to go back to the woodshed and reassemble yourself, like Chris Martin says. In divorce news, I've been hearing about the Tom Brady Giselle fighting. They now hire divorce lawyers. It seems it's about Tom Brady's, intention to play football, maybe until he's 50. He is off the charts. He is such a hero. That's what he reminds me of in one of those movies where they have a good life, but the mission takes precedent for heroes, and he's on his mission. Okay. Most of us watch Netflix, watch Amazon, watch those shows, and watch other people go on this mission, watch other heroes. But Tom Brady's a living legend. I mean, look at the average age for retirement for football is 35. He's 10 years past that. He's on his 23rd season. Giselle seems to be nothing but supportive, really enable him to reach elite upon elite status, but he doesn't seem to be integrated. He even said it himself, he's not 100% committed in playing. It's a complicated decision, and I'm sure there's a lot of emotions involved. On the other hand, he's really had so much success. It's hard for more logical, left brain, normal mortals to understand what this hero is doing. I do hope they are able to reconcile. Just because you get a divorce attorney doesn't mean you're going to have a divorce. They do have 2 children in common. So for them, for their children, for their family, and for their relationship, they seem to have a really happy relationship. I hope they're able to move past this. All right. So on the question, it is about attorney bills. I do not want to pay my attorney their bill. It's too high. Their work was not professional. What do you suggest? Well, asking an attorney about paying another attorney, you might get biased information. With that said, with that disclaimer, I'll give a shot. First, I'm going to talk about the difficult person approach. The difficult person approach is you ignore it, you're in denial, you don't deal with anything unless literally you have to. And just because someone sends you a bill doesn't mean you have to pay it. Someone sends you 2 bills, sends you an email, calls you, doesn't mean you're going to pay it. So you can ignore it. And probably if you ignore it, 1 or 2 things are going to happen. The attorney can keep on sending you bills. They may wear you down, guilt you into paying, or they may escalate, start some type of proceeding, which requires your appearance. You might get scared. There might be a default judgment, and they might just attach your assets. That could be what happens. The good person approach, let's call it that, you're going to either talk to the attorney, express your dissatisfaction, try to get a discount. And, attorneys, by and large, want to do the right thing. They're in a helping profession. They want you to be satisfied. They may even not only discount it, refund the retainer, depending on the matter. If that doesn't work, you may need a third party. You can go to some type of mediation. Different states have different programs for this to help lawyers and clients work out these issues. There's also arbitration, where you would have actually a hearing out of court. It would be probably a day before a few arbitrators. They will make a decision that either can be binding or it could just be subject to court review, or you could just go to court. You could litigate it for a few years. That's the most costly option for both parties. Hopefully you won't get that far. Hopefully it would just be a discount type of situation, or the refund of the retainer if it was really an egregious matter. All right, my announcements are, if you want a question answered from the podcast, you can submit a question at question.gettingdivorced.org. If you want to send feedback for the show, you can send it at feedback@gettingdivorced.org. The positive perspective is reaffirming listeners who've been listening for a little bit. They know a complicated, difficult divorce. is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And you're going to have to commit yourself to this multi-year process. Unbelievable. It could take so long to get a divorce. But when emotions rage and when you're not dealing with emergency situations from the perspective of the court, and if you're bogged down in one of these cities because of COVID, because of the pandemic, it could take years. You know, where I'm at in New York City, even an uncontested divorce could take a year. So prepare for the marathon, do your self-care, go back to the woodshed, as Chris Martin says, and retool and grow and put yourself in that position when the time comes. If you're in this difficult divorce and you need to go to court and you're going to have a trial, to put your best foot forward. All right, remember, this podcast is for informational purposes only. Please consult with an attorney before acting on any of the information contained in this podcast. Until next time, be creative, not reactive.